Welcome to my views and news headlines. Firstly, did Getachew called Eritrean leadership abnormal? Or did he indirectly call Eritrean leadership abnormal in his latest tweet? Secondly, PM Abiy held a telephonic conversation with President Erdogan of Turkey. PM Abiy confirmed that in a message a few hours ago. Brother Bihano Jula was in Turkey a few days ago. Did a video on that. What does Ethiopia want from Turkey? Because Turkey is not in a position to support Ethiopia financially, economically. Turkish economy is in a crisis. So what does Ethiopia want from Turkey? Economic assistance or military assistance? And thirdly, idea of a referendum in southern Tigray, Raya zone is being floated around to determine the future status of this zone, disputed between Tigray and Amhara regions of Ethiopia, how acceptable this idea would be. Local governments are planning to submit a proposal, a request to Ethiopian House of Federation. Details for you. First, viewers, Getachew, the Tigray presidential spokesperson, a few hours ago in a tweet, used very strong language indirectly against Eritrean leadership. It would be fair to say that he called Eritrean leadership abnormal. Indirectly, not directly. What did he say? He said, people with right mind or people who think normally have no difficulty accepting the necessity of upholding of peace. Those who have right mind, who think normally, they believe that peace should prevail, IDPs should return, spoilers should be given a shut-up call. But leadership on the other side of Marab River begs to differ. Who is this leadership on the other side of Marab River? Obviously, Eritrea. So he is basically saying that Eritrean military, Eritrean leadership does not think normally. It does not have right mind. They don't think with right mind. Indirectly, Getachew called Eritrean leadership abnormal. And he further went on to accuse some groups in Ethiopia that the allies of Eritrean government in Ethiopia are listening to the dictates, the orders of Eritrean government. He called for unity. He said we should unite. Effort is being made to drive a wedge between brothers and sisters of Ethiopia. So, it's clear that Tigray still believes that Eritrea is trying to spoil the implementation of the peace deal. That Amharas, because Eritrean allies in Ethiopia are mainly Amharas, that Amhara-Eritrea alliance is trying to drive a wedge between Tigrayans, Tigray leadership and other groups in Ethiopia. He is calling for unity. Can such unity be achieved against Eritrea-Amhara alliance? Difficult. While Ethiopian PM Abiy might not be comfortable with some Eritrean government's activities in Ethiopia, there is no likelihood of an anti-Eritrea alliance building in Ethiopia. It could happen maybe in future, but not now. And Tigray seems to be hinting at development that Eritrea-Amhara alliance is trying to destabilize the peace deal. Though I think Getachew should share details. if Eritrean military is not withdrawing from Tigray, he should specify the areas. If ethnic Amharas are trying, Amhara leadership, they're trying to spoil the peace deal, he should share details. Just general allegation would not serve. It will lead to further alienation, especially between Amhara and Tigray leadership. The two Tigray leadership will not sit with Eritrean leadership because the peace deal has been signed. Whatever is happening through Africa Union, IGAD, Ethiopian government. But Tigray will have to sit with Amhara to decide the future of Volkayt and Raya, southern and western Tigray. That is why I think Getachew should also be careful when it comes to accusing groups in Ethiopia, because these groups in Ethiopia will be Tigray's partners or negotiators with Tigray in coming weeks, you'll see. Secondly, PM Abiy held a telephonic conversation with the Turkish President Erdogan a few hours ago. In a message, he confirmed the talk. He said the talk focused on improving bilateral trade ties, and a resolve was made to fight terrorism jointly. Now, we know that Turkey played a key role in helping Ethiopian government militarily. Turkey, Iran, UAE last year. And that military support led to the withdrawal, the retreat of Tigray forces from Amhara Afar regions last year, owing to modern combat drones given by Turkey and UAE. Chinese Winglongs and Turkish TB2s changed the battlefield balance. Birhanu Jula, Ethiopian field marshal, was in Turkey, I think last week. Did a video on that. Now PM Abiy talking to Erdogan. What is happening? Firstly, Turkey is not in a position to support Ethiopia economically. We know that. Turkish lira, its price, its value declining for months. Inflation high. Turkey is being supported by the UAE. Turkey is in need of financial support, which it's trying to get from Arab countries. Turkey cannot give any financial support to Ethiopian government. Ethiopian government is in need of financial help. But Birhanu Jula's visit and Abiy-Erdogan call clearly indicate that Ethiopia is expecting, it wants to have military support from Turkey. Ethiopia wants to modernize its weaponry, it seems. It wants to acquire more weapons from Turkey. Though Turkey has investments in Ethiopia. But in current situation, Turkey is not in a position to invest a lot in Ethiopia. I personally think Jula's visit and Abiy-Erdogan talk indicate that Ethiopia is still continuing along the path of improving its defense capabilities. Maybe in coming days, we'll get details of what was discussed in the meetings. What does Ethiopia want from Turkey? Thirdly, viewers, idea of a referendum is being floated in Raya, Southern Tigray, Koram, Melamata, and preparations, groundwork is being prepared, you can say. 6 districts of Raya, local governments are going to write a letter to Ethiopian House of Federation requesting a referendum in Raya to determine the future status of Raya. The zone is claimed by Amhara Region 2, but before the start of this war, it was part of Tigray. Now the zone is under Amhara control. ENDF deployed there as well. It means that in coming days, we could see Ethiopian House of Federation, Ethiopian Federation Council discussing this issue. letter is being prepared. It has not been submitted so far. If you remember, a few weeks ago, I reported that idea of referendum in Raya was being discussed. Now, it seems it is taking a shape, and officially Raya zonal governments will request Ethiopian House of Federation for this referendum. 2 points. Firstly, will such a proposal be acceptable to Tigray? First question. It's not clear. Secondly, those who were displaced from southern Tigray, from Raya, shouldn't they return to this area before any referendum? And what about Raya's borders? Have the borders been secured by Ethiopian National Defense Force? Because now Amhara regional government is in control of Raya. People could be expelled. And we learned 2 days ago that people could be expelled, especially if this idea is implemented. Before that, we could see displacements from Raya through different means. So first of all, Tigray's view should be considered. What does Tigray say? Is it acceptable for Tigray that referendum should decide the future status of Raya? If Tigray agrees, then ENDF should take control of this area. All IDPs should return to Raya, and then referendum could be held. Otherwise, the referendum, if rejected by Tigray regional government, will lead to further confrontation between Tigray and Amhara regions. But ideas being floated around. In coming days, we could see practically some steps taken towards the referendum. Let's see how Tigray responds. Thank you for watching.